How's it going, guys? My name is just 𝗨𝗚𝗚 and welcome to my channel where we try to bring out the potential of every Pokemon available. Today we're doing something a little different. I crafted what I call the ultimate first partner Pokemon team, and it's actually a pretty solid team. What's your favorite first partner Pokemon? Let me know down below. The first game is against 𝗨𝗟𝗧𝗜𝗠, I hope I pronounced that right. Randomer online. I just figured I'd get a random battle for this one, so let's get it. And the battle begins. Good luck, have fun to my opponent. They're going to lead off with Lycanroc, as I expected, as I led off with Quaquaval, or Strictly, you know. Right, what we're going to do is we're going to go for an Aqua Step, because I know this Lycanroc's game. It's going to go for a Stealth Rock or an Endeavor or something along those lines. I'm going to go for an Aqua Step because it just seems to make sense to me. They withdraw the Lycanroc. They don't want to fall into the trap, because if they let me Aqua Step, I'll outspeed them the next turn. So they go into Dragonite. Dragonite's an interesting one, so that's going to be able to resist our Aqua Step, that's for sure. We'll go for it anyway. Break that multi-scale potentially. And boost our speed. So if we have Ice Spinner, we're potentially a threat right now. You know? So what I might do here is, because Ice Spinner is pretty common on Quaquaval, and they are leftovers, not weakness policy. So they may Terra Normal here. If they don't Terra Normal, that's the problem. If they don't, we do have the Incineroar in the back, which can come in and intimidate this thing and then do some stuff. But I kind of want to be ballsy and predict the Terra, but I think I'll just go with the Incineroar play, to be honest with you. Because I don't know how this player plays. I don't know. I can't just assume they're going to go for the plays that I think they're going to go for. You know, you should never make assumptions. So Incineroar comes in, we get the Intimidate off, which is always nice. And they go for a Hurricane, so they're a special one. We're a specially defensive Incineroar, though, so we don't really care about that too much. Which is pretty good. So now that we know that they're special, there's no point burning them. We may as well go for a knockoff first and foremost and just knock off something's item. So they withdraw Dragonite. They've seen the Hurricane doesn't do much damage. And they're going to go into what? Torkoal? Torkoal comes in, that's fine. Torkoal is fine. It's going to get the sun up. Drought is here. We go for that knockoff. It's going to do a butt ton of damage, which is nice. And we knock off their weakness policy. Interesting. So let's go for a Parting Shot. Get on out of there. Lower their special attack and attack. Like so. And then we'll go into something that's more better handled. They're equipped to handle Torkoal. Now, they won't go for a Will-O-Wisp here, right? They probably go for either a Body Press, or they might go for something else. I don't think they... Let's go into Pikachu. Let's go Pikachu. Pikachu, they haven't got a ground type, so I'm pretty confident going to Pikachu. Pikachu comes in. They go for a Shell Smash, which doubles their speed. Now, unfortunately for them, Torkoal isn't very fast. So there is a good chance we outspeed here still. There is a good chance we outspeed here. Very threatening, though. Very threatening, that's for sure. So let's go for a Thunderbolt here. And we do still outspeed because Torkoal is very slow, which is why you don't normally run Shell Smash on it, because even after a Shell Smash, you know, double nothing is still nothing. Mousehold comes in, which is terrifying. I don't really have a good way of dealing with his Mousehold. So if we assume they're going to go Population Bomb, we should probably go Incineroar and get the Intimidate off. That would be pretty clutch. I think I will do that. I'll go for the Incineroar and get the Intimidate off. So we'll get Cheddar out of there. And we'll go into good old Incineroar over here. Tiny the Tiger. There we go. Get that Intimidate off, which is great. And they go for a Population Bomb, which is going to sting a little bit because it's going to hit potentially 10 times. How many times is that? It's going to hit all 10, isn't it? 7 times. Okay, that's random. Right, so I'm looking at their squad and I'm thinking, you know what? I can go for a free Flare Blitz in the sun right now, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. They go for a Tidy Up. Brother, why? I'm just going to go for a Flare Blitz. You're better off going into Dragonite. Or Lycanroc. We go for the Flare Blitz. There's no way you live that, right? Nope. No way whatsoever that Mousehold lives that Flare Blitz in the sun. That is for sure. So, Incineroar putting in the work. We are low on health now, but so they can take advantage of that. But it's interesting having Torkoal with Drought on a team with a Dragonite that has Hurricane. There you go, Lycanroc. I think I'm just going to let Incineroar go down here. I'll try and go for a Will-O-Wisp first. But they go for a Trailblaze, which doesn't KO us. That's unfortunate for them, as we go for a Will-O-Wisp and we don't miss. We don't miss those. So Will-O-Wisp is also going to break potential Focus Sash, which is great. And since they've gone for what did they go for? A Swords Dance? No, they went for a Trailblaze. Now they outspeed everything on our team, but they can't really touch certain members. I go for a knockoff just in case they didn't go for an attack. Maybe they have Swords Dance or something, but they do go for another Trailblaze, so they outspeed us now with everything on their team, which is unfortunate, but they can't really do much to us because they're burned. So I can literally go into anything I want right now. And I'm leaning towards 𝗨𝗨𝗧𝗜𝗠. Let's get 𝗨𝗨𝗧𝗜𝗠 in. 𝗨𝗨𝗧𝗜𝗠 can take a Stone Edge from this thing, no problem, thanks to the burn. There we go, 𝗨𝗨𝗧𝗜𝗠 is in. We just go for a liquidation here every single time. They're going to Terror. What type are they going to Terror into, though? Something to resist water, I'm guessing. Something to resist water or just stone for an extra damage. Steel. Okay. Okay, so maybe they're thinking we go for... No, we always go for a liquidation here, so I guess they just want to get rid of the weakness. They go for another Trailblaze, though. That's probably not going to do anything. Doesn't do anything because of the burn. Let's go for that liquidation now, and that should take out the Life Orb, right? Yeah, Life Orb, Sheer Force boosted liquidation from a 𝗨𝗨𝗧𝗜𝗠 always takes out these things. No problem. So with Lycanroc down and out for the count, we've got Sneasler left, a Dragonite, and a Darkrai. The biggest threats on their team are still around. So they bring Darkrai in, the Tree Victor. Now, I'm looking at the squad and I'm thinking, I don't want 𝗨𝗨𝗧𝗜𝗠 to take too much damage because it could come in clutch against the Dragonite with the Ice Punch. So I think I'm going to sack off Pikachu here. So we'll sack off Pikachu. Pikachu can go down to whatever this Darkrai wants to go for. Hopefully a Dark Pulse. Nasty plot. Oh, that's terrifying. That's terrifying, that is. That's very terrifying. So now, we go for a... I'll try and go for a Volt Switch just in case. They go for a Sucker Punch, though, which is interesting. That's not going to KO us. And then we go for a Volt Switch, which is going to do nearly half to the Darkrai, which is awesome. So, not bad for us. We go Typhlosion here, right? The Allegations. There's Typhlosion coming in. So we go for an Eruption here every single time. They didn't even go for a Sucker Punch, which is great. So we just KO with that. We keep our full health. Typhlosion coming through for us. What a legend. What a legend. I don't care what the Allegations I don't even know. To be honest with you, I didn't even know what the whole thing was with Typhlosion. I didn't read into it, but apparently it was bad. Anyway. This thing comes in. Let's go back into Pikachu, and this time we're hopefully sacking it off to a Draco Meteor or something here. Probably an Earthquake. It might be mixed. They could be mixed. Dragonite. We're going to Cheddar. Let it go down. Dragon Dance. Oh, no. Oh, say. So they use Hurricane, but they also have Dragon Dance, which makes this thing 10 times more threatening. We go for a Volt Switch just in case. They go for an Extreme Speed. That's going to take us out. So, that's fine. Cheese goes down. Cheddar Cheese goes down. And this thing is just turned into a massive threat. Now, if we've got Extreme Speed and Hurricane, then we're... Ooh, I don't know. I don't know what we're going to do here, Chief. I think first things first, we should go into Rillaboom because their best move to hit us is Hurricane, as far as they're concerned. But we are actually Assault Vest, so we can definitely take it. So we'll get that Grassy Surge up, like so. And we'll go for... I'm leaning towards going for a knockoff. I think I'll go for a knockoff here. So we go for a knockoff. We still outspeed them? Even though the Dragon Dance... Oh, they must be a bulky Dragon Dance set. That's fair enough. So they go for a Hurricane. That does a buttload of damage even through the Assault Vest. That's crazy. But we knocked off their item, which is what's most important. So, best bet is just going for another knockoff here. So that's what I'm going to do. Bit more damage. They go for another Hurricane. That's fine. That's going to take us out. And they hit the Hurricane twice in a row. Or 3 times in a row, technically. Going to go into Quackable now. And the reason I'm going Quackable is because I want to go for that Terror Electric. And then we go for an Aqua Step. And I'm going to finish this game up with Quackable, I think. So, we get the Terror Electric up. Like so. This will give us a resistance to the Hurricane that's coming our way. And then we can go for an Aqua Step, get a speed boost, outspeed them again the next turn. Go for a Terror Electric. That should finish them off. Should. Aqua Step comes through. We start speed, which is funny. Doesn't not enough damage, but I think Terror Electric will finish them off. They go for another Dragon Dance. That's terrifying. Or potentially, it would have been terrifying if we hadn't got a speed boost and already outsped them. So I'm pretty confident we can outspeed here. So I'm going to go for a Terror Blast. Terror Blast comes through. They didn't even go for an Extreme Speed to try and take us out. That's fair enough. So there we go. Terror Blast comes through. That's a dead Dragonite, which is awesome. Awesome. So now we just got the Sneasler left. Sneasler is one of them Pokemon that could potentially ruin our day. So they bring in Sneasler. Like so, nice and shiny. Gotta love it. I was gonna say if they popped a bloom, they popped like a grassy seed or something there. That'd been hilarious. Let's go for an Aqua Step. We do outspeed, of course. They could be Focus Sashed. But oh, were they Focus Sashed? No, they just lived. They just lived that. +1 Aqua Step. They lived that. Sneasler of all things. Well, we may as well use our last move to take this thing out. I'm going to go for a close combat this next turn. The grass does disappear, which is awesome. And we just go for a close combat. It doesn't really matter what we go for. Close combat comes through. It's going to take out the Sneasler, and that's going to be the game. So GG, that was a fun one. Some interesting sets by my opponent, I will say. Some interesting sets, but... oh, well, it's all a bit of fun. Let's not get all like about it. But that was a pretty fun one. The next game is against Richie, who I believe is actually someone from the Battle Hub Discord, but I met them randomly online. Because I've battled them before, I'm pretty sure. And the battle begins. Good luck, have fun to my opponent. They're going to lead off with Greninja, which is the Pokemon I was hoping they wouldn't lead with, hence the Incineroar lead. I figured Incineroar does pretty well, though. So I get the Intimidate off, so if they are physical, then so be it. Gonna go ahead and hard switch into Rillaboom because we are Assault Vest. I know I can definitely take a hit from this thing and go for a Grassy Glide to take it out potentially, but I doubt this stay in, obviously. So Grassy Surge comes through. They're going to go ahead and go for a U-turn, which isn't going to do too much damage to us thanks to the Intimidate. It still does a nice chunk though, because it's stab. So Greninja goes back. They're probably going to go into Entei. Entei comes in. That's the perfect Pokemon to come in. So Entei comes in. It can Sacred Fire us. It can do all sorts to us. It's a big problem right now for the team. So what we have to do here is we have to get into Feraligatr somehow. I don't want to sack off Rillaboom, but Pikachu looks like it's not doing anything this game. So let's just sack off Pikachu right now. May as well. So get Pikachu in there like so. Cheddar comes in. There we go, Pikachu comes in. They go for an Eruption, so they're a special Entei, which is really cool. You'll love to see it. I guess I could have gone for Typhlosion, but I didn't want to risk them going for something and weakening us. If they have Eruption, though, I'm guessing they're choice specs. So I'm going to go into my Typhlosion now. The Allegations, because this is going to bait in literally, well, the Entei is the only thing that can really switch in properly onto the Eruption here. So I think I'm going to go for an Eruption because I'm expecting them to be specs, but if they're not specs, then we're kind of boned. They do withdraw the Entei, proving they are probably specs. And they're going to go into what? Tornadus? Tornadus comes in. That's probably an Assault Vest Tornadus as well, if they're switching in like that. So we go for an Eruption. That's going to sting quite a bit still. Doesn't do half, though, which is unfortunate. As now we're going to have to switch out. I'm going to go into my Incineroar. Incineroar can definitely take a hit from this thing, being especially defensive and all that. So we'll go into Tiny Tiger now. Boom. And we just get a free knockoff here. So we get the Intimidate off, which doesn't really matter. And they go for a knockoff of their own, which is going to definitely do a lot of damage. Not really. So we got a free switch in pretty much, other than losing our heavy duty boots. But we get the health back as well. So it's like, yeah, it pretty much is a free. I'm just going to go for a knockoff here. I think knockoff's going to really benefit us here. They withdraw the Tornadus though. What are they going to switch into to get knocked off? That's the real question. It's the Greninja. Okay, so the Greninja comes in. Nice and shiny. Gotta love it. We go for another knockoff. And that's going to knock off whatever item they had, which is a Choice Scarf. So that's good to know. Now, I know I can definitely take a Surf. I think I can take a Hydro Pump. But I don't think they're going to go for it. I think they're going to go for either an Ice Beam, predicting the Rillaboom, or a U-turn again. So I'm going to go for a Parting Shot. They do, in fact, go for a Surf, which is going to change them into a Water type. But this is kind of good for us, because even it's not going to KO us. And we go for a Parting Shot here. We're going to weaken this Greninja, meaning we can get a free switch in with something else, which is going to be great. So let's get Incineroar out of there after lowering its offensive stats. And we'll go into something like Rillaboom. I think Rillaboom is the best option here because it outspeeds with the Grassy Glide. We could go Quackable as well, get an Aqua Step off. That's always a possibility. But we don't have anything to touch that Vileplume if we do that. Could also go into you and just Eruption. I think Feraligatr is actually in a really good position here. Really good position. So I'm going to go for a Dragon Dance right off the bat. They go for a U-turn. That's fine. It's not going to do much damage to us since we did get the Intimidate and the Parting Shot on it. And whatever they go into, I'm pretty sure we outspeed here. And they haven't terrored yet, so there's always that to worry about. But I'm pretty confident that we can do this. So they go into Noivern. Noivern is nice and shiny. Gotta love it. They probably were expecting us to go for a Dragon Dance here. And if that's the case, then I'm fully expecting them to go for... Here's the thing, right? If they go for a Boom Burst without terroring, it doesn't KO us. Which means we can go for a Liquidation pretty freely here. And I'm going to go for a Liquidation because I'm predicting the Terror. Or should I go Terror Dark and Crunch? I'm Terror Dark and Crunching. Safer option. They are going to Terror. What type are they going to Terror into? And they went first as well, which is worrying. So they still outspeed us even after a Dragon Dance. Now, not even so fast. They go for that Terror Normal. They go for that Terror Normal. Which is terrifying. We're going to Terror our Dark type as well. I can't believe after a Dragon Dance they still outspeed us. That's crazy. Crazy good. So Terror Dark comes through. Now I went for this to go for the Crunch, but I didn't think they would outspeed us. But they do anyway. And they must be Choice Scarf then. Should live that. Yeah, we live that. That's great. So we live that. We go for a Crunch. Boom. Feraligatr comes through for us. Easily KOs the Noivern with that. And now we should outspeed everything on the team now. Should. The only thing we've got to worry about is the Entei with potential extreme speed. But I have a feeling they don't have that because they're a special Entei. Alright, Vileplume comes in. They've already terrored. They're hoping to get the Effect Spore here. I know it. I know it. I know it. I'm going to go for an Ice Punch because it should do a bit more damage. Oh, wow. That cleanly killed the Vileplume with a crit. Oh, no. The crit. The crit on the Vileplume probably mattered as well because Vileplume can be pretty defensive. Feraligatr may be sweeping right now. Maybe sweeping right now. Entei comes in, so they probably they might have extreme speed. But they would have gone into this first if they had extreme speed, right? So we just Liquidation here, right? Yeah. No, they tried to bluff the extreme speed, but no, I figured they would have brought that in before the Vileplume if they had extreme speed, right? Greninja comes in. So, funnily enough, Greninja, all three of our moves are resisted. So I'm better off going for a Crunch. See if it'll do enough damage, but I don't think it does do enough damage. I think they live barely. They do. They live barely. And they go for a U-turn, which is going to do some stab super effective damage. So Feraligatr nearly got through there. But, like I said, the Greninja resists, and even though it's frail, it can still live a resisted hit, no problem. Even if it's a +1 Life Orb Sheer Force booster Feraligatr Crunch with Terror Dark. Alright, Chinchino comes in. It's an interesting one. So, Chinchino is an interesting Pokemon because it can be Skill Link or Technician with loaded dice. One of the two. Why am I questioning this? Just go into Typhlosion, Jack. Just go into Typhlosion. We outspeed it with Choice Scarf. We outspeed this thing. Let's go for an Eruption and KO this thing. Eruption comes through. Boom. And down it goes, which is awesome. So with Chinchino out of the way, in comes the Tornadus. So Tornadus in. It's got Regenerator, so we're a bit... I think I'm better off going into Incineroar again, but I'm not sure. Yeah, we're going to switch out into Incineroar because Incineroar can probably take a hit, but at the same time, you can't do anything in return. We get the Intimidate off, which is awesome. And they go for a Bleakwind Storm, which is going to not KO us, which is great. And then I'm going to go for a knockoff just to see if I can. They withdraw, though. What are they going to go into? Probably the Greninja to sack it off. They want to get that Regenerator back on the Tornadus, which makes sense. So Greninja comes in. We're going to KO this thing with knockoff. Boom. That's fair enough. And it comes down to whether the Tornadus can pull this back for him or not, because they KO the Quackable. Typhlosion can't one-shot. Incineroar goes down to the next attack from it. And Rillaboom can just Grassy Glide it, which isn't going to do much damage. So let's go for a knockoff now. And they do go for a U-turn, though, which is going to do no damage. I mean, well, if we had more health, it'd do no damage. But unfortunately, we had little health. So let's go into Rillaboom first and foremost. We'll try and get some Grassy Glide damage off on it. So we'll go for the Grassy Surge, get the Grassy Terrain up. And then we go for a Grassy Glide simply. And that should do him just enough damage. No, it doesn't. Doesn't do nearly enough damage. They go for a Bleakwind Storm, which we might even live. Oh, we lived on 1 HP. I could have gone for a knockoff. Could have gone for a knockoff. That's unfortunate. So we go for another Grassy Glide anyway, just to get some damage off. There we go. They go for a U-turn. That's going to KO us. So Tornadus could pull this back really easily. Could really easily pull this back for them. I'm going to have to go into Quackable and hope I can live a Bleak Wind Storm for a start. Which I don't think we can. But I go for an Aqua Step anyway, just in case. We actually outspeed, so they must be a bulky Tornadus. That's great. That's really great for us. So they go for the Bleak Wind Storm. They don't miss. That's going to KO us, no problem. But thanks to Quackable outspeeding there, we just narrowly should be able to get the KO here with Typhlosion's Eruption. So let's go into it. Typhlosion comes through. Allegations are here. And we go for the Eruption. That should take care of the Tornadus. So let's go for it. There we go. Just KOs. Awesome. All right, GG Rich. That was a pretty fun one, actually. And a great end to the video.